is your favorite nickname that Trump's given you so far? Is it Ron DeSanctimonious or Meatball Ron?
Well, I can't.
I think even he went off Meatball Ron.
I can't. I don't know how to spell DeSanctimonious. I don't really know what it means, but I kind of like. It's long. It's got a lot of vowels. I mean, so we go with that. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want. I mean, just as long as you also call me a winner.
Ooh, a little dig at Trump for losing the 2020 election. Looks like Ron DeSantis is gathering the courage to fight back against Trump and his attacks. Now, that was, of course, during an interview with Piers Morgan. And I'm actually curious, John, what did you think of it? Did you think that was a strong, jab at Trump?
No.
I know it's gonna get under Trump's skin. Like it wouldn't get under our skin because we're not babies, but just think about it in the context of incredibly thin-skinned Donald Trump.
What's the jab there? That he came up with a nickname that had too many vowels in it? Like, oh, you stabbed him deep there. He's bleeding out.
No, what do you mean, the jab from Trump or the jab from?
The jab from Ron DeSantis.
No, but okay, this is your only flaw in analysis, John. You're so smart that you can't comprehend the idiocy of Donald Trump.
No, look,
and the sensitivities of someone like Donald Trump, right? So like nothing gets under his skin more than the acknowledgement that he actually lost the 2020 presidential election.
Okay, yeah. I think that takes a little bit of implication. I think Ron DeSantis is either saying that he's gonna be a winner or bragging about his win in the last gubernatorial race.
That's
but he's not directly like, you know what, I'm not gonna take nickname advice from a loser like Donald Trump. That would be way stronger.
No, he's doing the whole veiled jab thing.
Yeah, which
right?
is super weak. And honestly, earlier this week, I think he was a little bit less veiled when he was at least saying like, I don't know anything about paying off porn stars. I think that's a better jab. I still think the entire thing reads a little bit weird between them. And bear in mind, the full interview is gonna come out on Thursday. We'll see, maybe they get into a lot more. But isn't it a little bit weird that you have like 72 hours of a number of different attacks against Ron DeSantis, and they decide to focus on the DeSanctimonious, which is a nickname from 3 months ago or whatever, and the Meatball Ron, which I get it, it's weeks old, but it's funny. Rather than like Trump basically accusing Ron DeSantis of being a groomer a few days ago, of him apparently having maybe allegations of him having either affairs or maybe gay affairs. Like they skip over all of that to focus on the DeSanctimonious thing.
I know.
Again, it's this like shallow, like kid glove version of politics.
Well, addressing the more defamatory, crazy accusations from Trump would highlight them and amplify them, and I think that's the reason why they're staying away from that.
Yeah, but if they're insane, shouldn't they be addressed? Because if you only bring the light, fun little insults, well then Ron DeSantis is off the hook of having to get real. He gets to just throw out a little bit of like, I was a winner. But if you point out that the former president of the United States is accusing the governor of Florida of being a groomer, well then it just got real. And by the way, it didn't just get real, it was already real because he already did it. But you're getting to now pretend as if we're not at that level of the primary because they're pretending that it didn't happen.
That's an interesting analysis. I think what's also kind of fascinating about it is, this is my take, this is my theory. Part of it is Ron DeSantis doesn't want to amplify that because it's kryptonite for Republicans, right? And he wants to keep accusing others of being groomers.
Well, he should do that to Trump then. Trump has provided quite a bit of
I would like to get
ammunition.
to a place in America where we don't defame people as groomers. And now I know that the right wing does it specifically toward members of the LGBTQ community, and it's freaking disgusting. And now the chickens have come home to roost, and now they're having to deal with the accusations themselves. And honestly, that you reap what you sow, and I kind of take a little bit of pleasure in seeing that. At the same time, I again would like to get to a point where we don't defame innocent people as groomers and pedophiles because we don't agree with them on whatever issue. You get what I'm saying? Now with that said, let's get to some pre-release highlights that show that Ron is indeed growing some meatballs, as Ashwarya writes. Now, for instance, DeSantis attacked Trump's, by the way, how come Meatball Ron didn't stick?
It stuck. We're still using it, they used it.
I like it a lot. I like Meatball Ron. Anyway, that's just a side note.
Stupid.
Now, DeSantis attacked Trump's character for the first time publicly in this interview. He said, quote, "At the end of the day, as a leader, you really want to look to people like our founding fathers. It's not saying that you don't ever make a mistake in your personal life, but I think, what type of character are you bringing? I think the person is more about how you handle your public duties and the kind of character you bring to that endeavor, like banning books about penguins, basically defaming teachers who are already undervalued as dangerous groomers that parents need to be skeptical and careful about. Is that what you're talking about when you refer to character? Ensuring that the vaccine rollout in your state happens in areas that consist of your wealthy donors before ensuring that the vaccines get to elderly people who desperately need it first. I mean, is that the character that Ron DeSantis is referring to? Yeah, okay, sit down. Anyway, he also mocked Trump's leadership style and the drama that comes along with it. Let's watch.
People have been quite kind of scathing. They've said you're house-trained Donald, your Diet Coke to his full Coke, right? You've heard all this stuff. What are the differences between you? Well, I know him very well. Having now spent time with you, I could immediately identify a few differences. But what do you think are the differences?
Well, I mean, I think there's a few things. I mean, obviously, the approach to COVID was different. I mean, I would have fired somebody like Fauci. I think that he got way too big for his britches, and I think he did a lot of damage. I also think, just in terms of my approach to leadership, I get personnel in the government who have the agenda of the people and share our agenda. If you bring your own agenda in, you're gone. We're just not going to have that. So the way we run the government, I think, is no daily drama. Focus on the big picture and put points on the board. And I think that that's something that's very important.
This is the reason why the billionaire donors who previously backed Donald Trump are now saying they will not back Donald Trump and will pour millions of dollars into the campaign coffers of Ron DeSantis. Because what Ron DeSantis is doing there is he's specifically speaking to the donors. He's like, I'm going to be far more effective in tax cuts and deregulation because I'm not going to be on Twitter all day and I'm not going to engage in the nonsense that Trump engaged in. So understand that in some ways, Ron DeSantis is potentially more dangerous than Trump, right? Because Trump was a buffoon who got distracted by his own narcissism and ego. Whereas Ron DeSantis has a one-track mind: deregulate, tax cuts, continue rigging the economic system on behalf of corporate donors. They're both awful, don't get me wrong. And they're both awful for the same reason, but also awful in different ways. Donald Trump has no respect for our democratic process whatsoever. He would steal an election. He would carry out a coup, a successful coup if he could. I don't know if Ron DeSantis has the, I don't know if he really has the ability to even attempt something like that. Who knows?
We don't know for sure. I mean, I know that his unilateral influence over the congressional map of Florida was about as anti-democratic as you could imagine.
And potentially he's more dangerous because he's more strategic in putting his
focused, I guess.
Yeah, he's more focused and he finds strategic ways to rig elections in his favor.
Yeah, I think that, like, hypothetically, I understand that that's a thing that we come back to every once in a while. I think hypothetically, I guess I would be more worried about him. But bear in mind, like, Trump did plenty of deregulation and Trump passed trillions of dollars in tax cuts, so he did it too.
That's all he did.
And if he comes back in, he'll do it again. And also, again, we're trying to be diplomatic or whatever. So if you're a fan of Ron DeSantis or whatever, you probably like the idea of, like, putting points on the scoreboard. But please bear in mind, there's not one scoreboard. There are at least two scoreboards. There's the scoreboard for you, where you'll get points. You'll get points because 2,000 miles from where you sit, a kid won't be allowed to use their preferred pronoun or something. And then there's the scoreboard for the rich people, where they get huge tax cuts that won't affect you in any way. And your pension will go away and you won't be able to retire with dignity and all that. But you will have this scoreboard where someone you've never met suffered a little.
No, but that's exactly right. So when they bait voters with their gross culture war issues, just understand none of those issues, nothing that they're doing to be hateful toward a powerless group of people improves your life at all.
Yeah. You get the endorphin rush, I suppose.
But do they really? Like, does it?
They seem to like it. I don't know, but it's not a durable thing, and they don't care about it. The pundits don't care about it. The politicians don't care about it. They care about the bottom line, their literal bottom line. That's who a person like Ron DeSantis is there to deliver for. and also Trump for the most part too.
Donald Trump has responded to Ron DeSantis. I wanted to quickly mention that. He says, "Well, I am fighting against radical left lunatics, persecutors, and unfair prosecutors who want to destroy us all. Ron DeSanctimonious is not working for the people of Florida as he should be. He's too busy chatting with a ratings challenge TV host from England, desperately trying to rescue his failing campaign. But it's my fault I put him there." It is your fault, Trump.
It's such a jumbled mess. God, that's not even a really good Trump response, because it's well, I want to attack him, but also Piers Morgan, and also the prosecutors, and the persecutors, and the dementors, and I gotta hit everybody.
Cope.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.